Excellent. So now what we want to do now is we want to look at procurement. So let me just load up this. Right. Right. So I want to look at procurement control in Sage Evolution. So basically, the objective of this lecture is for you to understand procurement control in Sage Evolution 200. Understand instance. So we're going to explain this: instance, approvals, configure agents, agent groups, escalation groups. Then you follow an end-to-end procurement process. It's not complicated. It's the setup that has to be followed. So I mean, this session basically will be, we explain a concept, then we do a demonstration. So we're going to start with instance. All right. What are incidents? So you'd find this procurement control module. It also actually works with the conduct management. So, but what I've done is I've just condensed and I've picked the important areas that you require, we are supposed to know for you to run this module, right? But your conduct management and this, they work hand in hand. So you'd find under that, we've got what we term incidents. Incidents are just an event. In a business setup, in terms of procurement, this is something to do with buying. We are buying something. Either we are buying trading stock, we are buying an asset, right? So that becomes an incident. So we have got examples here. Purchase of trading stock or a purchase of a laptop for a managing director. So that becomes an incident. So the incidents have to be set up. They have to be set up. You understand fully after we have completed the lecture, because there are a number of items that link up for us to be able to do the procurement. So we have just started by explaining what incidents are. So we're saying it's an event. It's something that triggers a procurement process, so to say. Right. So incidents are the foundation of procurement control. They track requests, approvals, decisions, and provide accountability and audit trail. So now we want to demonstrate how these incidents are set up on Sage Evolution. So we are going to Sage Evolution. So when we come to Sage Evolution, we go to maintenance, then we go to procurement, then we come to incidents, then we go to defaults. This is the first thing that we do, right? So when we come here, we go to incidents, right? The incidents are already set, right? Okay, we go to documents. No, we don't have to go to documents. We'll come back to documents later on. So we can go back and say procurement, again, incidents. Then we can start probably with, let's start with incident type groups, right? So the incident type groups, you'd find we have got procurement. I spoke about the conduct management. So the conduct management, basically what it is doing is it's allowing internal communication via evolution, internal communication between the company's employees, staff members. It also allows communication between the customers, suppliers, and the company staff members, right? So when we come on incident type groups, you are just adding groups. These are just groups like, I would just say procurement is a type. Incidences. Instance, just like that. So the code can also be the description of it. And I could just say, okay, as a group, Then I can add another group and say sales and marketing, incidents, finance and accounting, incidents, and so on. So these are just groupings depending with what the incident or what the event is all about. In this case, we are focused on incidents to do with procurement, buying, right? So again, under that, under procurement, we are also looking at, right? We are also looking at, so we spoke about groups. We are also looking at incident types, right? So your incident types, again, in terms of procurement, is the exact description of what you want to do. So we are just adding. Of course, the system comes with this opportunity state changed and defined. You do not have to worry about this. You can add your own instances. So in this case, you could find we can just describe and say purchase of laptop, purchase of laptop for MD. Want to say for MD for managing director. Then we can select a group and say these are procurement instance, right? So it falls under that. We leave the rest as it is. Now, we can't complete this because what we also require is what we term default escalation groups. I'll explain what that is all about. So you'd find if we try to save this, it will actually allow us to save that incident, but we have to put the escalation groups for it to allow us to process. So what we have done is we have okay, let me just come to procurement. We have done the incident type groups and the incident types. As I said, the types is what you are actually doing. Buying a Rolls Royce for the finance manager, right? The groups, you are grouping like by department, like in this case, it will be procurement incidents, sales and marketing incidents. Then we've got what we term escalation groups. Now, you'd find escalation groups, when you are buying, you have got a buyer or the initiator of the buying process. So you don't want the process of buying to be delayed. So you actually give a timeline. Okay, the buyer has got probably 7 days to process this purchase. Right? If the 7 days lapse and the purchase is not completed, then the system will escalate to the next person, to the next authority, right? So you must have set up that so that automatically the system escalates, right? That buying process, if it is not completed within the specified time. So you must have set up the escalation groups. So for you to do that, you just clicking on add, right? Then you type in escalation group. So you will just say like managers or supervisors, it all depends. Then you have to select an agent group. You remember these agent groups, we spoke about them when we were creating users and agents, and we said the agent groups is just a categorization or a grouping of, like in a commercial business, it could be by departments. So you've got your finance and accounting, you've got the sales and marketing, human resources. Those can be your groups, or you could categorize by position, directors, managers. So here you are setting up an escalation group. The next level of authority that will take over the issue if the person assigned doesn't act. So you give it a name, then you pick a group. In this case, you may start with supervisors as the first one. Then you say, okay, right. You can even put another one and say, okay, that one I said managers. Okay, so I was not supposed to say managers on this one. I was supposed to say supervisors, probably as the first port of call. Right. So we'll set up that supervisors. Then we say, okay, then we could add now for managers. Right. So what the system will do is, if action is not taken in time, it's escalated to supervisors. If the supervisors do not act, it's escalated to managers. If the managers do not act, it's escalated. So here we are supposed to put minutes, right? So you could put, like, if it is, it all depends. You will just put as many minutes. If it is 7 days, you calculate 7 times whatever minutes are in that. So yeah. So within that, what the system will do is it will trigger once this time is elapsed, it will escalate automatically. So we have set up that. Right. So under this procurement, what we have set is the incident, which we said is the event. It's what needs to be done, right? We set up the groups. We set up the escalation groups, right? Now, we have to set up what we term document list. When you are buying, there is issue of quotations. You don't just buy. So you have got quotations, there are documentations which are involved in doing that procurement. So you have to set up a folder in which those documents will be saved into. Then when you are doing the procurement process, you can pick those documents and attach them. So for you to do that, you have to first come, that is on document list, you have to first come to defaults. So you come to defaults first, then under documents, you pick the path. This is a path to your computer. This is the path to your network point where the documents or the quotations and the various documents to do with procurement are saved. Myself, I'm just going to pick this folder. So just pick this folder and say, okay, this has to be set. Because if you do not set it, you'd find even further ahead, you have errors when you're trying to process. So once we've done that, we just say, okay, right. So those are I think those are the 4 things that we require for us to run our procurement. So I'm now going to let it just save so that again, all right. So it is saved. I just want to check something before I go on to process. Let me just check if there is anything that we need here. Under defaults, I think everything is okay, right? So now we have done the maintenance or the setup of procurement. And as I said, we focused on document lists, escalation groups, incident type groups, incident types. Those are the 4 main things that you require for you to run procurement on Sage Evolution. Now, when you want to use the system to process your procurement, you have to come to transactions, then you come to procurement, then you put in a new requisition. This is the first thing that begins because a requisition has to be put in for you to do a procurement. So automatically it will pick the requisition number by default. It's number 1. It will pick today's date, then the requester who is requesting. So we are buying a laptop for the MD. So let's say Simon is requesting, right? If you are linking up with a project, if you are doing project tracking, then we have to link up with a project. Then we have to pick an incident here. So our incident is the purchase of the laptop for the MD. Then once we have done that, we just have to come down here. Then okay, in this case, we can either use GL account or we can use the stock module. Stock module mostly for trading items, right? Or we can select other, right? So if we were selecting other, we actually come there and describe purchase of laptop for MD, right? Supplier, then we have to select the supplier. Okay, in my case, I'm just going to select Proton. We should have created the supplier, the relevant supplier, and 1. Then we have to put the price. How much is it expected to cost? Let's say probably that much. This is a high-end laptop. Then what is the expected date of delivery? When do we expect this to be completed? So to say, so let's say 17. So it means when we get to 17 without this process being completed, it will be escalated. You remember we set up escalation groups. It will be escalated to supervisors. Supervisors within 180 minutes should have acted without escalated to managers. So we have that. Then if we have projects, we could link up with projects. If we have a job linked to it, we could actually link up with that. The incident type is already selected. Then we have to select the escalation group. Then we have to select the manager, or not the manager per se. We have to select the person who is going to authorize this, because this is a request, so it has to be authorized. So we have to select the agent who authorized this. So we have selected John, then we just continue to the next line. If we had another requisition, we would run it. If we want to attach a quotation to this, we must have done the quotation and scanned. So the quotation process, normally you procure 3 quotations, then you do an assessment of the 3 quotations, then you select the best. So what you'll be attaching here is that the documents to do with that process. And for you to attach, you just come on documents, then you link documents. So when you link documents, it will give you this window. Either you may have added documents here. If you haven't, then just click on add. It will open up this folder. This folder, remember, I linked it up when we were setting up under document lists. Defaults, then we said this is where our documents are going to be stored. So let's say I want to attach that document. I could just select it. Then I say, okay. I could put a document category there. I should have put categories. I didn't create document categories. Let me see if it allows me to save. Right. Okay. So it wants a document description. Let me enter a document description. So this will be quotation, assessment. Is that the spelling of assessment? Assessment. So you're just putting in the detail, which helps you understand what this is all about. So once you have done that, you just say, okay. So what it does, it brings up this, then I will just say, okay. So this document or this quotation is attached to this requisition. And once that has been done, I'm now able to complete this purchase. So I could validate just to check if there are any errors. If there are no errors, it will just show you that the batch successfully validated, no errors found. If there were errors, it was going to list the errors down here. Then what I have to do is I have to post. Do you wish to post? Then I could just say yes. Right. So it is posted. Okay. The posting, what it has done is it has sent a notification to the person who has to authorize this. Right. So I could print, I could preview. Let me just preview this. So, right. So I could just preview this. So I can either file a hard copy of this requisition. It's very important, or a soft copy, right? Because in accountability, one would say, did you make the request? So this requisition is a proof that you made the request and send it to John. So John is the agent who has to approve. I'm signed in as the admin. So, right, we're going to close that. Now, then we'll close this. Right. Page successfully posted, then we just say, okay. Now, when John logs in, we'd find we're going to log in with John. So when John comes to work, logs into the system, you will see the requisition that we made. So we just want to see, so we're going to log in with John there. John. Then we just put in the password, John. Right. So you'd find we are going to see, John is going to see the requisition. Then he has to approve that requisition. Then he will come back, log in, and complete the process. So let's just see how this works. So in an organization where you have got many people. All right, old password, and it needs me to change the password. This is fine. Let's just do that. Send a letter. Then, right. So I was saying, in an organization where the buying process is quite heavy, you'd find instead of one running around through offices seeking approval, it's automated. Using this module, it's automated. You can do it on the system. So let's just see. We want to log in with John, and let's wait for the system to load up so that right. We're just waiting for it to load up. Let me see if it does. All right. Times it's a bit slow. Did I put the password? Let me minimize this. But not sure this. And let's close. All right, my machine is a bit slow. All right. So let's wait for it to load up because we want to see what John has to do for us to move forward. Okay. Is it loading up? Right. So if this happens, at times you may log in with a new user and then the system doesn't like load up on your window. Just close it. Just close it like that. Then you just say yes. So you close it, then you just reopen it and log in again. Because at times Sage Evolution does that. You're trying to log in, then instead of logging you in, it just comes to the taskbar, stays there, doesn't load up. So you just relog. You just close it, then you relog. So this time around, I believe it should launch without problems. So we are logging in with the person who is supposed to give the approval or rejection. So it's not just approval. The request may also be rejected, may be approved. So we just want to see how that works. Right. Okay. So it is loaded up. Let me just enlarge this. Right. So you'd find when John logs in, he will see this my requisition. You see this my requisition. And there is one of one. So when he sees that, he has just to double click on it. Then it will bring up this. This is the requisition that I made assigned by administrator to John. So what John needs to do is just to open this requisition. All right. So he can check. We find this is the quotation that we attached. You can check this, then click on requisition. Right. Then it will open up this window. Now, on this window, what he just has to do is assign the person, change. Okay, was it still showing John? So you have to change there and either reject, because this was a request from the admin. So he either rejects or approves. So let's assume he has approved. So once it has been approved, you find on the agent, because it has to go back to the person who requested. So it's going back to the admin. Once that has been done, you can either validate first. If you want, it will run a validation. Then you have to post the requisition. You are posting so that, all right. So it's not allowing me to run it on under ST, under other. Either it's saying I should run it under GL or let me try GL and see if it gives me the account. Right. Doesn't give me the account. All right. So I'm just going to run it under ST stock. Then the obvious, okay, I'll just select that bread. All right. So once this has been done, then you just have to post the requisition. right? Then you say yes, right? So the approval has been got. Whichever way, even if it was rejected, still it has to be posted so that the requester or the person who raised the requisition will see that it has been approved or not. So you can either preview this or print, whichever way you want to do that. So I think you saw it. We once printed it. So this is now it has got status has changed. Initially, the status was request. Now the status is what? Approved. So we're just closing this, right? So John has done his job. Now, when the admin who made the request logs in, right? I'm logging in and logging off because I'm just using one machine, right? But these users, they are like working logged in. So once they are logged in, working in there, you find that they will see these notifications as the request is being sent, the approval is coming, then they will see this. So let's see what happens when the admin logs in, right? So you can see this system or this module allows communication without you leaving your office, without you picking up the phone or sending an email. You are just making it using your Sage Evolution to handle that. So it will do that. So now, when the admin who made the request signs in, or even if they were already signed in, they'll see a notification. So you have got your notifications there. So you've got this one. Now, if it was rejected, fine, it was going to write there on status rejected, right? So if this one is complete, so we just double click on it, right? We double click on it, then we know that it has been completed. Now, that we have been authorized, we now go back and process this. So we go to transactions, then we go to procurement, then we are not making a new requisition, we are not making a purchase order, but we are now converting the requisitions or requisition to purchase order. So we just click on requisitions to purchase order. Then we have to pick the one that was authorized. In this case, is this requisition number 1, right? Then from supplier, it will pick all that. Then we just click on view. It will load up. It will load up. Did it load up? It didn't load up. Why? No records shown to view. All right. It was supposed to load up this. Then we are converting the requisition to, was this the supplier? I'm assuming it was Proton, yes. My system is frozen. So basically, this is what we have there. So let's view that. Okay. Right. Okay. So closed. So it's done. So this requisition has been completed, and we are happy. And we were supposed to be able to process this via transactions, procurement, requisitions to then the supplier there is just one Proton. The date is that. Then clicking view, I was supposed to see that requisition, but it's not picking up. I think along the way there is something which I didn't do correctly. I think when I changed from other to ST, that may have caused the problem. But basically what was supposed to happen here was when we click on find, under this requisition, it was going to list it here. Then you just double click on it or we process. Then it will load up as a purchase order. We then do the purchase order. You remember, then we do the purchasing process just as we do it in the normal way. Purchase order, when the goods are received, in this case, it's not trading stock, right? It's not trading stock. So it was not going to get into inventory, but we would just receive it as an asset. If it was trading stock, then it was going to be received via the GRV. In this case, as an asset, we're going to receive it via the asset module. We are still to do the asset module, the fixed asset module. Then we could receive the laptop record it into the fixed asset module. So this is what would happen. So the procurement, as you have seen, what it does, it's managing the requisition. It's managing the requisition that we did, sends it to the person who has to approve. We get either the approval or the rejection. Goes back to the person who requested as approved or as rejected. Then the person who requested continues with the buying process by doing the purchase order and these other documents until the item which is being bought has been received into stock, either into stock or into the fixed asset register. So basically, this is what the procurement module is all about. Again, the difficult part or the part that has to be mastered is the setting up of these items. Yeah, these 4 items, the setting up of these 4 items. Once these items are set up correctly, then you can do or you can use your procurement module. So for now, I can say, let's finish here. Then in the evening, we are going to do 2 other. I'm going to send you these videos. In the evening, we do 2 other. Then tomorrow, I expect us to finish, because my aim was on Wednesday, we could start on Excel. So that, yeah, the fault is on me, because last week I had some issues. Yeah. Are there any questions that you may have?
So far, maybe when I go up and get a challenge,
You can always refer. So what you do, what I noticed on bin locations, if you try to like create your warehouse, if you want to try to link your bin location to the warehouse, it may give you, at times it may give you errors. Ichiramba kulinka, and what you do, just create another company and register it as demo, then try to do in that new company. Don't register it as educational. Register it as demo, then try to do in that company. Then you see the process will be complete, complete. Because now at times, go through that error, then you can't continue. Yes. So
thank you so much.
yes. So I think it's fine. Saka, your Manero, trigger me, and then I'll be waiting for you from 8 onwards.
Okay.
I'll be waiting for you. Then we just have to, it won't take us time. Then we see how it goes. All right.
I will do that.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay.